You got people 38 hot with your reevaluation. And what a lot of people fail to realize is what a reevaluation is. Listen, y'all, a reevaluation is the action of assessing or evaluating something again or differently. In other words, let's just say the requirements to get a job was to have a certain type of resume, to have a certain amount of experience, and to have a degree, right? That's it. Well, the next time they reevaluate you, maybe they want more experience, maybe they want more education, and maybe they want more requirements from you, right? That is what a reevaluation is. They're checking to see where you stand. Right? Even when it comes to food stamps, you think about food stamps, they have to reevaluate the food stamps or the person who's receiving food stamps. Why? Because your situation might have changed. We may need to give it to somebody else who actually need it. You over here making 10,000 plus a month, somebody over here making 500 and homeless. Right? So we're going to have to reevaluate you to see if you're still on the same income or on the same mentality or on the same thing that allowed you to get the benefits, right? And so that's the same thing with yourself. You got people 38 with your reevaluation. They automatically feel entitled and obligated to your life. They automatically feel entitled and obligated to the things that you accomplish. They feel like they are deserving of being there. But family, you have to do a reevaluation. Now, this video is for two people. Either the person who's already done a reevaluation or the person who is looking to do a reevaluation, meaning they know something's not right with their circle. They know something's not right with their family members. They know something is not right where they currently reside. However, they feel in their spirit that they need to do a reevaluation. This video is for those two people. So I want to go ahead and get directly into it, y'all. Understand something. You got people 38 hot with your reevaluation. And a lot of people are going to say you made a bad decision. A lot of people are going to say you made a mistake. People may call you fake. People may call you lame. People may say you didn't have the right people in your ear. They may say that somebody else was making these decisions for you. They're going to say all type of different things and make up all type of slander. However, y'all, the reality is they just didn't make the cut. Somebody drop that down below in the comments. You ain't make the cut. Yes, sir. Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and say you ain't make the cut, and that's just what it is. All right. Reevaluation is real. So let's go ahead and get directly into it, y'all. First thing is first, number one. Dead weight has been cut. All right. Dead weight has been cut. When you are doing a reevaluation, you are cutting dead weight. Reno, what is dead weight? So I'm sure some of y'all like chitlins. All right. I'm from the South, y'all. So y'all know I love chitlins. When it comes to chitlins, you have to clean. You got to clean them, right? Or else you're going to literally be eating pig dookie. It just is what it is. You're going to be eating hog dookie straight up, right? But what you have to do is clean the intestines, and you have to make sure that the smell is gone, make sure that all the remains are gone. You have to make sure that the chitlins are A-okay, all right? That's the same thing with, cutting dead weight. There's some things inside of those chitlins that just really don't need to be there. It really does not need to be there, okay? And so when it comes to the dead weight of friends, family members, or people who are just around you, they're going to be pissed off because they don't feel like they're dead weight. They don't feel like they're holding you back. They don't feel like they are hindering you. They don't feel like they're doing anything to be cut from the team, cut from the squad, cut from the benefits. Make sense of what I'm saying, y'all? So when you're doing your reevaluation, dead weight has been cut. Think about on your job when they reevaluate to see if a person need a raise or need to be fired. Yeah, that's real. You start seeing those supervisors get deep. Hey, you ain't come to work on Friday, Saturday, right, of last year. They've been watching you the whole time. Now it's time for the reevaluation. You thinking you about to get a raise, but you about to raise up. Just being honest, y'all. So that's the point. Dead weight has been cut. Dead weight is people or things that does not serve a purpose anymore. Dead weight is things that hinder people. Dead weight is a person who's only around to take and have nothing to give. That's dead weight. So when you're doing your reevaluation, or after you have done your reevaluation, there's going to be a lot of people who 38 hot, big mad with you because you just messed up their whole operation. All right, somebody drop in the comments and say your operation just failed. Yes, sir. Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and say your operation just failed. Number 2 is going to be this right here, y'all. Confrontation. Confrontation. All right. Now, confrontation is oftentimes looked at as an argument. It's oftentimes looked at as a person creating a big situation. It's oftentimes looked at as a person trying to go back and forth with the person. What people don't realize is that confrontations can actually be constructive. It's only a face-to-face meeting. The reason why confrontations go so bad for certain people is because of the lack of maturity. You can't have a conversation with the person who's immature. They're going to listen to respond and not listen to understand or comprehend. Let me say that once again, y'all. They're going to listen to respond, all right, instead of listening to understand or comprehend. So the point is that when you have a confrontation, you're trying to better the situation. You're trying to better the relationship, and you're not fabricating it. Right? The reason why a lot of people keep fake people around them is because they are fabricating what they really want or what they're really asking for. All right? What they're really asking for, they're trying to put it off as if it ain't really that. They're trying to say it in a nice way to where they don't harm them or hurt their feelings, rather. They're trying to say it or put it off on somebody else so they can take the blame. But in actuality, this is how they feel on the inside. Somebody drop in the comments and say that ain't real. You have to, whenever you're having a confrontation for your reevaluation, you can't use fabrication. You can't fabricate the situation. You got to let a person know exactly what it is. Therefore, they can show you who they are. Therefore, they can come to the forefront. And see, when you use this type of method for your reevaluation, you're going to separate the real from the fake. You're going to separate the takers from the givers. You're going to separate those who are good-hearted individuals and those who are bad-hearted. Because one thing about an evil spirit, it does not like being not singled out, but it does not like being pointed out. That's the word I'm looking for. An evil spirit does not like being pointed out. It likes to stay in the darkness. It likes to stay in the shade. It likes for people to not know that it actually exists. Make sense of what I'm saying, y'all? Drop in the comments and let me know. So, yeah, you're going to have a lot of people 38 hot when you hit them with this reevaluation. And a part of this reevaluation includes confrontation. Point blank period. It's just like the principal's office, the supervisor's office, when they got to sign that piece of paper and they have a witness and you got to get rolled up. Yeah, because it's going down in the documents and the records. Yeah. When you have this confrontation, it's not about you starting argumentation, but it's also about you not utilizing fabrication so y'all can get to a point of peace, a point of love, a point of happiness. Because if I don't keep it real with you, then I'm doing you a disservice, right? I'm doing you a disservice. I need to let you know exactly where I'm coming from, the whole nine. And those who neglect it, they despise the wisdom, they despise the love, they despise the conversation because they don't want to change. These are the people who you have to cut off during your reevaluation. And of course, y'all, they're going to be 38 hot. Point blank period. Number 3, it's going to be this right here, y'all. Your decision on eligibility and services. All right. Your decision on eligibility and services. I used this earlier in the video. I'm going to say it again, y'all. Sometimes you have to see who's still worthy of receiving the benefits. Yeah, you have to see who's still worthy of receiving the benefits. So there's been so many people who's been caught up on food stamp fraud, right? Because they placed on the application that they were homeless, or they placed on the application that they didn't have a job. Whole time these people making $10,000 plus, but they don't want to pay for food. And hey, I get it. I ain't knocking nobody hustle. But what I will say is that once that reevaluation came around, you seen exactly who they was, because they were thieves. They were, taken from the government, right? And yes, the government take from us all the time, but the game is not created fairly. So getting back to the point, y'all, when they check and see if your eligibility still meets the requirements, when they check and see if you still need their services, and if you don't, but you're receiving their services, reevaluation says it's time to cut their weight. Reevaluation says they've been stealing. They've been taking from us. Reevaluation says we coming and lock them up. Yeah, we coming to pick them up and lock them up. I'm just being honest, y'all. So this is the difference between an open fist and a closed one, right? This is the difference between a closed palm and an open palm. The point of what I'm making is, y'all, is that you have to be wary or be aware of those who still deserve the benefits that come, from you. Somebody can be taken from you your entire life. They can be taken from you your entire life, but you will never be awakened to it or even notice it if you keep your eyes closed, if you never reevaluate, if you never ask them, hey, do you still need this? Right? Whole time they just loading up on you. The whole time they just stacking up on you. They don't even need what you're giving them. They just want what you're giving them. And this is bigger than money, right? This is sex. This is help. This is advice. This is a place to stay. This is a job. This is a position. This can be anything, y'all. This can be clothes. It can be anything that you're giving a person, but they're not deserving or even needing of it. They're just loading up on you because you have a good heart. And this is why they're 38 hot, because of your reevaluation. Number 4, y'all, is going to be this right here. Assessment on assets. Assessment on assets. So this is when you're checking a person's performance. You're checking to see what they bring to the table. You're checking to see, how do you help my life? I know how I help yours, but how do you help my life? There's an assessment on assets. So NFL coaches do it all the time. They do an assessment on the assets of a player before they draft them and after they draft them. This is why you have free agents. Yeah. And this is why you have people who are just undrafted, because they didn't have enough assets. So what are assets? Assets are things that thrust a business forward, thrust a person forward, or anything that can help a person. So if I have a habit of spending money on McDonald's or Burger King, do I have an asset or a liability? That's a liability. But if I have a stock within the stock market that makes me $10,000 a month, then now I have myself an asset. So you want to do an assessment on the assets of what a person brings. No, this is not about me trying to take advantage of a person. No, this is not about, oh, I'm just using somebody. No, but it's best to utilize a person the way that they utilize you. Right? It's not about, oh, I do something, you do something. It's not even about that. It's about, I don't want to have a hole in my ship, because the ship was sink from the holes that are, causing infiltration on the inside. So if you have a person who's using you on the inside but can't see it, you will sink your ship. If you have a person who's stealing from you on the inside but can't see it, you will sink your ship. If you have a person who's taking from you on the inside, causing infiltration, you will sink your ship, because again, y'all, the ship would not sink from the water on the outside of the boat. It's going to sink from the water that gets on the inside every time, y'all. So you want to do an assessment on the assets that are around you. You cook, okay, cool. All right, got you. You safe. All right, you can bring entertainment. Okay, cool, great, you safe. You bring plates. Okay, cool, great, you safe. You're bringing something to drink. Okay, cool, great, you're safe. You just want assets around you because you are assets to the things that are around you. Make sense what I'm saying, y'all? Drop in the comments and let me know. Number 5 is going to be this right here, y'all. You woke up to their games. You woke up to their games. Some people expect for you to be dumb your entire life. Some people expect for you to act slow. All right. Somebody drop in the comments and say, I woke up. Yes, sir. Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and say, I woke up. There's nothing wrong with waking up to a person's games. All right. Listen, you become the fool when you're being fooled by the fool. Right? Let me say that once again. You become the fool when you are being fooled by the fool. And I'm talking about you are allowing yourself to be fooled because some people lie to themselves just to keep people in their lives. Some people are delusional on purpose because they don't want to be awakened to the reality. All right. But here's the reality, y'all. A person will use you as long as you allow them to. A person will abuse you as long as you allow them to. It's going to be up to you to wake up to their games. And this is why I say they're going to be 38 hot when you hit them with that reevaluation. You asking questions. You're asking you're asking more of what their intentions are. You are paying attention. You're observing. You're not just allowing a person to take control. You're asking them what they're doing. You're asking them why they're doing it. You take a person who gets signed to a record label, right? And all they know is sing, all they know is rap, all they know is write music. They don't take care of the business. Well, right now, they're sleeping on the person who's doing the business. And then they're wondering why I'm not seeing a royalty check, why I'm not seeing the publishing check. It's because you're sleeping on the business. The moment they wake up, now they're asking, hey, what about my publishing? What about my masters? What about my music? What about the money? What about my royalties? What about this? What about that? And now the person who's been, getting over like a fat rat going to be 38 hot. Why? Because of the reevaluation. This ain't what you used to do. This ain't who you've always been. Sorry about that, but I'm not sorry because if I keep sleeping, I'm going to allow you to keep taking and reaping the benefits of my hard labor. And that's the same thing with yourself. You got them 38 high, all right, after your reevaluation. Let's do a recap, y'all, and then we'll conclude this video. Number 1, y'all, dead weight has been cut. People are going to be pissed off when they figure out that they are a part of the people or the group that has been, cut off. Number 2, confrontation. All right. Anytime you confront a situation or a person, it's not to say you're looking for argumentation, but you are not participating in fabrication because you're trying to have a better situation. That's just what it is, y'all. Number 3, your decision on eligibility and services. You have to go back over the requirements. You have to go back over, what it is that you required the first time just to make sure that they are still eligible this second go around, the third go around. Right? As you grow, as you mature, things change. It is what it is. Number 4, assessment on assets. You need to see who's bringing things to your table. You need to see who's performing great. You need to see who is helping your life instead of bringing stress to your life. And number 5, y'all, you woke up to their games. You're no longer asleep. You're no longer blind. And it is what it is, y'all. They won't like you for it, but you have to maintain the respect that you have for yourself as a man and as a woman. Y'all already know how we do. Y'all make sure y'all get a Rich Mentality book. Y'all be sure to get a Yes Sir t-shirt and book a one-on-one session with your boy if you would like to talk to me directly. I'm going to catch y'all in the next video. Keep a rich mentality. Peace.